This segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
This old bridge has been on our farm for years and years, and just by looking at it, it may make you think twice before you want to cross it. But I've crossed it with four-wheelers, with trucks, even tractors, and never hesitated, simply because I know what's underneath. I know the support system. I have faith in the bridge. And that word faith is pretty interesting. It means simply believing in what you can't see or what you can't figure out. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path." In our walk with the Lord, many times He calls us to take steps of faith, to go places that we can't figure out, to do things that we can't see, simply by trusting our support system, knowing that He is there, knowing that He sees the big picture, and He has our best interest at heart. This week I want to challenge you. Take those steps of faith, those things that maybe God is calling you to do that you just can't figure out. Trust Him. Trust your support system. He promises that He'll be there for us. Until we see each other again, remember, keep shooting straight.
All right, guys, another great message from Pastor Jim. I look forward to that every week. You know, I can't wait till he sends me that every week so I can check it out. But guys, we want to go ahead and tell you we're going to open up the phone lines. You can give us a call, 615-737-7767, with any questions or comments you may have. And while we're waiting on some of those to come in, let's talk about this public land deer here we got sitting here. Now, where was this shot at, Don?
It was shot in Fort Campbell. So
Fort Campbell.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of good deer come out of there, but it's hard to get in there, isn't it?
What state, Fort Campbell?
What?
You know, it's split half Kentucky and about half.
Yeah, it was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's on the Tennessee
It was
side.
Tennessee.
Now, I kind of asked you this earlier, but this was pretty neat too. You did not know what you had shot when you shot this deer. You had no idea, did you?
No, I just saw he was a wide rack, and that's what I was looking for. So I wanted either drop tines or a wide rack.
You ended up hitting the jackpot with this one.
Yes, sir, sure did. Sure did.
Now, was he chasing does?
Yes, he was.
What was he doing?
He was after a doe. The first time I saw him, I just got a glimpse of some antlers in a thicket, probably about 80 yards off to my right. And I just lost track. That's all I saw of him. I started grunting a little bit, nothing aggressive, just grunting, and got my rack out and rattled a little and waited, and I thought he'd gone. You know, and then I guess about 10 minutes, maybe 15 later, he come angling down a trail toward me. And I saw the doe come first, and he was about 50 yards behind her. And he was just licking branches and making one scrape, and he just eased on down.
That is all you could do to wait till I got there.
That's it. Yes,
How
sir.
far was he when you shot him?
55 yards is what I stepped. So.
And the shotgun? You said
Yes, it was a shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun.
Well, I tell you, I mean, I don't have to tell you, it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an
it is.
example. You kill a big deer like that with a shotgun, you catch a monster bass on a zip code 33.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, that's the way it works.
It's just incredible.
Yes,
Not
a monster.
only, you know, for it to come out of the state of Tennessee, so many people don't understand the quality of deer that we produce now. But again, this is public land. I mean, anyone else could have, you know, gone through the process and tried to get to be sitting where you were that day.
Yeah, trying to get in there.
The Area 63, they say stuff, don't they?
That's my favorite area.
Yeah, it's Randall's favorite area in there. Y'all want to look it up. It's 63.
Yes, sir.
But no,
Don't
I mean,
look that
really,
up.
it is. It's kind of tough to get through the process of getting in there, but for those that go through it and can get a spot, it turns out to be well worth it.
Well, I was lucky the week before I got in the same area, Area 63, and I saw 7 does and 5 bucks that morning, and real cold, but saw 2 bucks, big bucks, you know, had good racks, tall. I just couldn't see how wide.
Yeah.
And I didn't shoot for that reason, but they were good bucks.
You felt okay about it on the morning of the 16th, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Guys, let's go ahead and grab a call. Who do I have on one? Betty, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for calling. How can we help you tonight?
Well, Brandon, I was just wondering, what did your deer score?
I don't know. I know he scored 4.5 years old or so is all I know right now. I really don't know what it scored. It was 20 inches inside spread is literally the only measurement we took on the deer for right now. He's heading to Wilson's Wildlife right now to be mounted, and I may have him scored later. I'm not sure, but it was a very nice deer.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. Have a good night. Shane, how are you doing tonight?
I'm alright. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. How can we help you tonight?
Well, I ain't been hunting all that long, but on the public land, I'm wondering, what do y'all look for when you're going in? And on deer that size, the biggest thing is like, do you go rattling on them, or I mean, I've hunted like cheating before, but what do you got to do to get drawn up there? Or?
Everywhere is different depending on whether you're hunting what's called a WMA or a PHA, or in this case, that Fort Campbell is a federal property. And with Fort Campbell, for example, you've got to go up and have your weapon registered and get some other things taken care of on that level. With your wildlife management areas, I'll just say an example like Cheatham or Percy Priest, Old Hickory, something like that. You've got to have what's called a Type 94 permit. And you can access all those with your Type 94. And then there's other areas, Cedars 11 as an example, you've got to have a permit there, but it's free. And you can go up there and obtain a permit and hunt it that way. Now, as far as what I'm looking for, now everybody up here may tell you a different answer. If I were to just go to a new property and it was a public property, I'm going to look where I don't see that much traffic, first of all, try to get away from that. And then I'm a bedding cover person. I'm looking for the thickest, nastiest stuff I can find. If I can find a growed up field, I'm probably not going to be too far from that. I don't know if Randall might add something to that, or if you kind of...
That's about it. Just go up and look for deer sign. On this right here, the best thing you can do is go up there and talk to them people, because this is not your average wildlife management area.
No, it's way
This is took care of by federal. It's took care of by U.S. and Fish and Wildlife, biologists, and all that. The thing is, you've got right at 40 areas up here that you can hunt in. But all through the week, there might not be but 5 of them open.
Yep.
Okay, say they've got 100 slots open. And I'm not just putting you on I used to hunt this place a long time ago, but when they got to where deer was spread out in Tennessee, I quit going because it's so hard to get in.
Yeah.
It's just hard
It is.
to
I
get
told
there.
you my story there, but anyhow, like I say, look for that.
Well,
Look for that cover.
If all right. What kind of cover y'all looking for? Like,
I like a grown-up field. I like what's called like an old successional growth field, where you got.
did buck bombs work for y'all, or is it?
I don't use them much. No, I do use calling, just like Don mentioned, a little bit of rattling or grunting. I'm a sight caller. I don't use a call cold. I use a call once I see a buck. But you got to be where he is first before you're ever going to see him. And
That's the main thing.
Typically, it's going to be, I'm looking for a field that's got brush as high as my head with tree saplings in it, and something like that. Because deer
Something you
feel
can't
comfortable
walk
in there.
through.
Yep.
You know, not a person can walk through, but
That's
just
right.
like a giant rabbit. That's
Yep.
what I consider them.
But we got to.
What y'all's deer weigh?
Mine was 124. He was
I'm
very
more
small.
of a meat hunter than anything. I don't really care a whole lot about inches, but
Yeah.
I mean.
But they
I do
still
want a
eat
big
just as
deer.
good.
I do want a big deer. But
Yeah, I understand. Well, we're going to have to hop over and take another quick break. Thank you for calling.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys, we're going to go over and do this week's tip of the week. This week's tip of the week has been sponsored by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. You can check them out at phoenixrods.com, or right here in Tennessee, give Mr. Jim Brewer a call, 931-213-1455, and let him get a couple of Phoenix rods in your hands before this spring. I promise you will not be disappointed. All right. Our tip this week, we're going to go ahead and give you a quick deer hunting tip. I know it's just about over for the season, but you've still got another weekend left and a little bit more time. Right now, your deer, your does especially, they're back grouped together and they're on food. If you can find a food, whether it be they're still picking up acorns somewhere, you've got a green field, wherever they're at, if you can find those does, you want to watch them and keep your eyes on those does every day. Now you might watch them 3 or 4 days and don't see a buck one, but if one of those does comes into heat in the late season, you'll see every buck for the next 3 farms going to be behind her. So the biggest thing is right now, don't get discouraged because you're not seeing much and you're just seeing does, because all it takes is a split second and it can change everything. So that's your tip for this week. Guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more with Mr. Don and some Tennessee deer hunting.